Karen, the HOA president, started illegally building a footbridge on my private property, without permission. I never imagined that a simple bridge could turn my life upside down. I had saved every penny, working long hours to finally buy my dream home, a quiet place at the edge of the city, where I could enjoy the peaceful sound of a stream in my backyard. Everything was perfect until one morning, when I woke up to the sound of construction outside my window. The noise was deafening. Before we get into this wild HOA story, take a moment to like and subscribe, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. It's always awesome seeing how far these stories reach. Now let's dive in. I rushed outside, heart racing, and froze when I saw the construction crew in my yard. There were bulldozers, cement mixers, and workers everywhere, and standing like the ringleader giving orders was Karen, the notorious president of the HOA. She looked at me as if she owned the land, grinning from ear to ear. "Oh, Josh, you're awake. We're building a bridge across the stream. It'll be great for the neighborhood." My jaw dropped. "A bridge? On my property? Without asking me first?" "Well, it's for the community. I thought you'd be happy," she said, not even blinking. I stared at her in disbelief. "I don't care if it's for the community. You have no right to build anything here without my permission." But Karen only smiled smugly. "Oh, I'm sure we'll sort this out. You know, it's all part of the HOA's master plan. You're not against improving the neighborhood, are you?" That was it. I knew I had to stop her, but I had no idea what I was up against. I couldn't let this stand. I went inside, grabbed my phone, and immediately called the city council. "Hello, yes, I need some information. There's a construction crew building a bridge on my property without my permission. Can you tell me if that's legal?" "That's definitely illegal," the representative said. "They need a permit to build anything on private land. Have you filed a formal complaint?" "Not yet, but I'm going to. Thank you." I quickly drafted a complaint to the local authorities, but I knew this wouldn't be enough. Karen wasn't going to just back down. I needed to act fast. I went to the yard and approached the workers, who were oblivious to my frustration. "Excuse me, can I see your building permit?" I asked, trying to stay calm. One of the workers looked at me with confusion. It's all handled by Karen. You'll have to talk to her." I turned to find Karen walking toward me, a smug expression still on her face. "I see you're trying to cause trouble, Josh. You know, this is a community project, and you should be thankful. It'll increase the property value for everyone." "No, Karen," I said, stepping closer. "You're breaking the law. You need to stop this now, or I'll take legal action." She waved me off. "Go ahead, but I'm sure the HOA has all the support we need." I knew then that it was time to escalate. The following day, I received an official notice from the city. The authorities were coming to inspect the construction site, but Karen wasn't backing down. She'd already placed signs around the neighborhood, claiming that the bridge was part of a new HOA initiative to improve the community. The nerve of her. I decided to get ahead of her. I set up my own signs, but this time, they weren't about the bridge. They read, "Pay to cross, toll bridge, $5 per crossing." By the time Karen arrived the next morning, she was livid. She stormed over to me, furious. "Josh, what is this? This is my bridge, not your toll road." I crossed my arms and leaned against the fence. "Well, Karen, if you're going to use my land for free, I might as well make some profit from it. You know, the people in the neighborhood might want to get used to paying for the privileges you're trying to force on us." "This is illegal. You can't charge for something on my property." "Actually, I can, because it's my property. You don't have permission to be here." She fumed but didn't know what to say. But she wasn't the only one involved in this mess. A few of the neighbors had started to speak out. They were tired of Karen's constant overreach and control. Some of them even came over to me, apologizing for her actions. It felt good to know I wasn't alone. As the situation escalated, things took a turn. One afternoon, Karen called the police. I was in my yard when the squad car rolled up. The officer stepped out, looking confused as he approached. "Sir, we've received a report that you're obstructing construction here. Can you explain?" I was taken aback. "Obstructing? This is my land. They're building without my permission, and Karen here is trying to force me into agreeing with her plan." The officer looked at Karen, who was standing there with a smug grin. "Is this true, ma'am?" the officer asked. Karen immediately switched into professional mode. "Officer, I'm the president of the HOA. This project is for the good of the neighborhood. We've already approved it. I'm sure the land is fine." I took a deep breath and said, "Actually, officer, this is a private property dispute. She's building something on my land without permission, and I've already filed a complaint with the city." The officer nodded slowly. "Okay, I understand. I'll need to look into this." Karen wasn't happy about this. She tried to argue further, but the officer walked away, making a call. A few minutes later, he turned to Karen. "Ma'am, I'm going to need to see a permit for this construction. Without one, you'll have to halt the project. You can't just build on someone else's land without permission." Karen's face turned bright red. She stammered, trying to explain, but the officer wasn't having it. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you can't proceed without a permit. I suggest you stop the construction right now." She was defeated, but she wasn't done yet. After Karen refused to tear down the bridge, I took her to court. The legal battle was intense. Karen, with all her HOA power, tried to convince the judge that the bridge was for the greater good. But I wasn't backing down. I had everything ready: photos, legal documents, and witness statements from my neighbors who had witnessed her overreach. The courtroom was tense. Karen's lawyer made their case, presenting it as a community improvement project. But my lawyer shot that down with one simple fact: there was no permit, no permission, and no legal right to build on private property. The judge listened carefully to both sides, and after deliberating, the verdict was clear. The construction will be halted, the bridge demolished, and Miss Karen will be fined for building without proper authorization. Karen's face went pale. She stood up in shock as the decision was read aloud. It was over. In the end, Karen was forced to tear down the bridge. The HOA was reprimanded, and the fine was substantial. The neighborhood learned a valuable lesson about not letting one person take control of others' property. As for me, I was not only able to keep my land, but also gained respect from my neighbors, who now knew that I wasn't someone to be walked over. Karen, on the other hand, disappeared from the HOA scene. She resigned, and the community was finally at peace. My home once again became a sanctuary. The bridge was gone, the nightmare over. I had won, not just legally, but in proving that standing up for what's right can change everything. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. See you in the next video with another exciting story.